All right, Shalom to elect Israel, to the hopeful elect Israel, you Hebrew Israelites, you so-called Negro, Latinos, Native Americans, West Indians, Haitians, foreigners, such a lot to the nations scattered across the four corners of the earth. I want to give all praise to Barak, Barak, Shy. Barak, Shy. Got to give all praises to Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi, Bahasham, Qadash, name of the Heavenly Father, everybody normally calls God. His true name in ancient Hebrew, which is Rawchaa, Qadash. His true name is Yahawah. Bahasham means in the name of. Yahawashi is the Holy One of Israel. Everybody normally calls Jesus Christ, who was slain at the foundation of the earth for the salvation of the elect of Israel. Then you got 2/3 of the wicked Israelites here in America, Babylon the Great, and the other wicked Israelites scattered across the four corners of the earth that will come back to the loins of the elect before after the destruction. The Rawchaa Qadash, it's the Holy Spirit that has been bestowed upon the Heavenly Father, or the Qadash bestowed upon the the men that the Heavenly Father gave His only begotten Son out of the world to complete this work. So we always want to give double honors to the elders and apostles, great millstone, let us all to this truth. Been ordained by the Lord to teach the flock how to live, repent, pray, fast, show forth the Lord's righteousness and mercy, judgment, forgiveness, and Rawchaa are part of the elect to the hopeful elect. Lord, when we part of that number, Lord, when it's be able to find out, we fear in the name of the Lord, striving to show forth the Lord's righteousness every day to the best of our abilities. His judgment always comes to light. Zephaniah 3:5, but it's not select. 2 Peter 3:9, until it brings 2nd chapter 5, verse 42. Shalom, I used to say believers out there tuning in, hand on out there. Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi, Bahasham, Qadash, Atham. We're going to get into a quick lesson. The title is A Friend is Born in Adversity. And Yahawashi always talked about, he considered us as his friends because we're in a time of trouble. And the problem with the majority of Jake is they have gained a level of, being comfortable here in America, Babylon, and Great. That is how we know that Yahawah, Yahawashi doesn't consider them as friends, because to have a friend, it had to be like y'all go through a particular situation. The Lord bring you in a particular situation that bring you to become connected. And that is why we cannot connect with the majority of Jake, because we don't really have a connection dealing with adversity, So we're going to get into this. Lord willing, edifying to the flock. Proverbs chapter 17, verse 17, it reads, a friend loveth at all times. A brother is born for adversity, right? For adversity, right? So that's specifically talking about when you're in the truth and you're considering yourself as a man of the Lord. You were born there to help a brother in adversity. That's the reason why you were put, in the truth, to help a particular brother in adversity. And that's really, if I would say, mainly to the younger brothers like myself, me meeting Zaquan, my elder, various other important people in my life. I was in adversity, and so were they, particular people that I hold, close in my spirit as people who showed me how to overcome adversity. And that's the thing, Jake doesn't understand to be on a level in this truth. It's more than just teaching scriptures. It's more than just coming around when things are good. And until Jake comes around when shit hits the fan, that's how you're going to know if Jake is really a friend. But some friends, that you have, you all already went through that. And that's what bonds the brotherhood, being there for brothers in their time of need. And that is the reason why you were bringing in the truth. If you're somebody new like me, your job is to help another brother that could possibly be going through something. And it's not going to necessarily be told to you. You're supposed to have the spirit to know that, especially, if you're teaching. That's the reason why we're here. So we're going to look up this word, born.
Strong's H3205. Yalad.
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 Yalad, to bear, bring forth, beget, right? To cause, to help, to bring forth, to assist, or tend as a midwife, right? That's basically going into, you have been born into this truth as a brother to help another particular brother. That's the whole purpose of you being born into this truth. And Jake, a lot of Jakes want to skip that aspect and they just want to come in the truth, and skip this whole part of the process. This part has to be applied as well, dealing with the brotherhood, right? What's a friend? What? In all the movies, me and the elder was watching Rawchaa 2 earlier. We was just watching it, and how they became companions was the adversity they were going through. They were going through the same situation. Both of their fathers died, and they wanted to find out who killed them. You got Bonnie and Clyde. All these people who have become associates are born in adversity. Yeah, man. Huh? Shit. You good? Mm-hmm. Fine. Slacky. This word friend, when you look it up, right here.
Strong's H7453. Reya.
It says friend, companion, fellow, or another person. So when you come into the truth, the Lord brings you into the truth to be compatible with another person that he born into the truth for y'all to comfort each other in each other's adversities. And a lot of times it's usually the same type of stuff that y'all are dealing with. And that is what formed the brotherhood. You know, Elder Apostle Tahar on down, you know, Elder Apostle Tahar, Elder Apostle Gabar, Apostle Ramlov, Apostle Rawchaa, they all had similar adversities that bring them into this truth. Same way with all of us, you know. And, you know, it talks about Proverbs 20, verse 24, man's goings are the Lord. How can a man understand his own way? So the Lord put us through certain infirmities, and that's how we glory through our infirmities, by being a help to another brother that is going through something, you know. And this just is on my spirit because, you know, this is not something that, you know, I normally go into. So we're going to look at this word adversity. We'll go ahead and look that up. And then we're going to go down to another precept in the New Testament, and we're going to make a point. Because, you know, if you don't really have adversity with somebody, how do you know if they're a friend? Like, how do you really know if they're there for you? Or, in a sense, not you, but the tabernacle, because that's what we're here for. We're here to serve the tabernacle. We're here to make, you know, the tabernacle flow, you know, more smoothly, you know, more fluently. We're not just here to, you know, for ourselves.
Strong's H 6869. Sarah.
Straits, distress, trouble, anguish, distress, tribulation, right? Adversary, right? And of course, as a body, we are dealing with, you know, Esau, even the so-called white man, as an adversary against us, you know, and we're born to make, in this truth, to come and make each other's lives, you know, more, you know, more established because of what Esau Edom has done to our people, you know. So we're going to look up this word. We're going to go to John in the New Testament, chapter 15, verse 14. And, you know, it says disciples' relation to each other. Disciple means students, you know. This is this is part of us coming into having a compatibility to each other, is our adversities, you know. And it's more than just dealing with you know, not let on Esau Edom, but other means as well. And, you know, you have, you know, certain brothers that have certain issues than others, but, you know, it is our job to strengthen our brethren, man. This is John chapter 15. We're just going to get to the point. Verse 14, that reads, ye are my friends if ye do whatsoever I command you. So the Lord's not going to consider you as a friend unless you do what he told you to do. And how does he do that? He does it through the elders and apostles, a great millstone. Like, that's how you're considered a friend of the tabernacle, by when you're in adversity and you come into the truth and they tell you to do something, you do it. Okay? That's what's showing that you're a friend and you're here to aid the brotherhood. So we're going to look at the word friends here in the New Testament in the Greek.
Strong's G 5384. Philos.
A friend, to be friendly to one, wish him well. An associate, one of the bridegroom's friends. And who's the bridegroom? Talking about Yahawashi, who on his behalf asked the hand of the bride and rendered him various services in closing the marriage and celebrating the nuptials. This is how you say that. And that word just means marriage. Okay. So you're coming here to give various services. You know, you're a big part of you coming into the brotherhood is you bringing a particular service to the brotherhood to aid other brothers in adversity. That's your job. Okay. Especially as new brothers coming in. You don't just come in because you know the scriptures. You come into the brotherhood because you're bringing something to the table. And, you know, this is something that I want to point out because this is something that I tell myself every day. Am I really doing something that's being of use to the brothers around me in Jaquan and, you know, the brothers abroad as well? Am I being useful? Because that's what you come here to do something, a service. And it's more than just doing the work. You know, that's what got us in the fold. And this is just stuff that, you know, was on my spirit to mention, just to keep in mind. When you are somebody who is, you know, coming into the truth and you want to, you know, be of use to Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi, how you be of use to Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi is through serving the brotherhood. This is something that you have to keep in mind. This is Ecclesiasticus, the book of Barak, chapter 32, verse 7. Speak, young man, if there be need of thee, right? And yet scarcely when thou art at twice asked, right? So if you're a young brother and you're coming into the truth, you know, we speak, you know, when times where it's needed to be, but when we're asked to do something, right, that's going to consider us being a friend to the Most High, we don't want the elders and apostles to ask us that twice. We don't want them to be like, well, we told you to do this, you know, and sometimes the brothers ask you bluntly, sometimes it said test the spirit. Sometimes they'll give you a certain tool and see what you're going to do with it. Okay. We're going to look at that word tool, right? Sometimes they'll give you a certain something, some type of tool. It could be spiritual or it could be physical for you to do something. And if you don't get it, you know, and it's told to you both ways, that's scary, man. And you got to consider that, and you need to take some time alone with yourself and really ask yourself, what are you doing here?
Tool.
A device or implement, especially one held in the hand, used to carry out a particular function. So the elders and apostles give you the scriptures, right? And what are they expecting you to do? Teach it, right? So elders and apostles hand you any kind of utensil in the spirit or in the flesh is to carry out a particular function. That's what makes you a friend. If you take the tools that were given to you and do what you were told to do with them. And the elders apostles are long suffering. So sometimes they'll give you both and be long suffering and tell you like, why ain't you done this? And you want to be real scarce when they do that, Jake. Especially when they tell you to do what? Tighten up. What does tighten up mean? Because this is what counsel is about. When we tell you to tighten up, this is what we're telling you. Tighten up on something. Tighten something up. Right? Tidy. To become stricter or more careful. To make something become stricter. Okay? But if you're not a Jake that was born through adversity, like if you wasn't really going through no real situation, because most of us came in the truth, we were not doing too well. Most of us were going, especially brothers that's on fire. Most of us was in some dire straits, adversity, and that's what made us come into the truth so, you know, lively. But if you're just a Jake, just, you know, you really ain't got too much you worried about, ain't really too much you dealing with, you know, nothing too serious. it's going to be harder for a Jake like that to tighten up when you're told to. You gotta pray for the Lord to take that spirit off of you, because this is a sifting time. This is a big sifting period, and especially the last thing you want to do is be asked something twice just before the Passover, man. You don't want to be that Jake, who's doing that. Hold on, not right here. You don't want to be the Jake doing that, man. This is what I want to go to. And this is the point. This is why we're saying if you ain't really going through nothing when you come into the truth, doesn't mean that you ain't gonna make it. It's just saying that you have to really ask the Lord to put the spirit on you to light a fire under your ass, so you don't just be doing what the fuck ever you want to do, because that's what's gonna get you, in a situation where the elders and apostles is asking you to do the same shit, especially if like you're coming in and you got somebody, because when you come in, there's always going to be somebody over you. And if they do something intentionally to you, if they tell you to do something in either way, physically or spiritually, if they do them both, that's something serious. That's not coming from us. That's coming from the Lord. And Jake got this thing in his mind that, we just like overlooking what he does, and we're not overlooking what you do. Nothing, especially in this time, because it said, keep your house in order. We ain't bringing nobody in this thing, and we're deliberately asking you to do something and you're not doing it. That's serious. This is Sirach, chapter 12, verse 8. A friend cannot be known in prosperity, and an enemy cannot be hidden in adversity. Okay? So a lot of people that came into this truth, when you meet them, Jake, if you didn't meet them in a time of adversity, there's no telling if they're a friend or not until adversity is displayed. Once adversity happens, then you know if they actually are a friend. So I said, test the spirits. Through what? Adversity. It had to be some type of situation where it was a dire strait and both of y'all were going through it, and that service was administered. Okay? That's what makes you a friend of Yahawashi. And a lot of Jakes just skip that. A lot of Jakes thinks just coming to the camp and reading scriptures makes you a friend. Nah. What makes you a friend is adversity. And if we ain't went through nothing in adversity wise, there's no way telling who you are. That's what we're saying. So Jake needs to keep that in mind and needs to tighten up, especially if you're not somebody who we met in a situation of adversity. You need to really be tightening up. And Jake thinks we're just being harsh about that shit. No, we're not. We're trying to tell you what the Lord told us to tell you. And Jake, take that shit lightly all the time, man. And eventually the Lord's going to cut your ass off, and you're going to be out here when the elders and apostles strictly are giving you commands on how to be. Because Jake doesn't understand when he's doing something wrong, so we got to explain it to him. And you got to make sure that you are moving on that. And we don't want to be telling you twice, especially when we haven't met you in a situation of adversity. If we just met you and you just, whatever, we ain't really went through nothing with you, you're going to really need to be, tighten up your shit. This is 2 Corinthians chapter 3, verse 18. But we all, with open face, beholding as in a glass the glory of the Lord, are changed into the same image from glory to glory, even as by the Spirit of the Lord. How did the Spirit of the Lord, how does it function? It functions through adversity. So if you're not going through adversity, you don't have any kind of accounts of you having adversity with particular brothers, especially brothers that's over you, you need to make sure that you step into that house the right way. You know what I'm saying? Even if we don't say nothing, don't mean the Lord ain't gonna do nothing about it. And Jake think that shit's funny, man. Jake think it's funny when we be saying certain shit. Like it's just some shit he can make a decision when he want to. That's not how this works. You need to, it said, make no tarrying to turn to the Lord. And Jake be one to wait all damn time and shit. Okay? I want to go back here. You want to wait and shit. Verse 9, Ecclesiastes Barak, chapter 12, verse 9, in the prosperity of a man, enemies will be grieved. But in his adversity, even a friend will depart. So you even got some people, you know, who were coming and seeing that they were friends. But as soon as that adversity came, it was nowhere to be found. As soon as Jake was really struggling, they was not fucking there, man. Your thing, if you're a young brother coming in this thing, or anybody new, you a new believer, your job is to be bringing a particular service, okay? And whatever that is, that's up to you and the Lord. But we're telling you what he said, okay? That's what we're saying. And it said, when we tell you something twice, be scarce about how you respond, man, because that could be the reason why you start getting looked at. Like, why is this person not going from glory to glory? Why are we still having the same conversation with you about the same stuff, man? You know what I'm saying? This is just something that I'm feeling, you know, I feel the spirit has been heavy on me because there's been several, you know, men, so-called men of the Lord kicked out of the truth recently, 2, 3, 4 of them, you know, throughout the four corners of the earth. You need to take that and be scared, you know, if you're consider yourself as a believer. This is I got a few more precepts and then we gone. Jake be already talking about he ready to serve the tabernacle, but as soon as we tell him to do something, you know, Jake just disregard that shit until we really get on to him. And that shit is not going to be tolerated. You know, it's not going to keep being tolerated. And we talking about by the Lord. Because just like Apostle Tahar said, he said, even if we don't say nothing to you, the Lord will get rid of you. That's why we do these admonitions online. So Jake, know that the Lord gave you a whole lot of warnings. And if you keep playing around, you're going to lose your crown. This is Sirach chapter 5, verse 1. Keep thy foot when thou goest into the house of the Most High, and be more ready to hear than to give sacrifice of fools, for they consider not that they do evil. Jake, don't consider, you know, what he be doing sometimes, you know, and sometimes it don't even really be like he meaning evil, but it just be like Jake don't understand how to step into the house of the Most High. And he just be doing stuff thinking that, you know, he's just, you know, since he's just a guy who comes around, he can just do whatever he want to do. An example, when I went down to the Dallas camp, the elder, okay, when we went into the house, we didn't just go in there and just start doing whatever. We went in there, we went around Pastor Yakal, sat down, talked, fellowshiped, and then they gave us instructions on what we could do and what we couldn't do. We didn't get up and go just start doing whatever we wanted to do. And the house of the Most High is wherever a brother lives. So it's like, if I come over your house, if it don't matter how many times I came to your house, I'm not going to come and go in your kitchen and go in your fridge and get shit. I'm not going to go and do shit without asking for permission. That is keeping your foot. That's an example. You don't just go in and just do whatever. And sometimes brothers won't say nothing, but it's because you should already know better, you know? And sometimes we just let Jake do what he want to do to see if he really don't consider what he's doing. Jake don't want to consider, like, there's rules, man. There's like what do your parents all say? Where's your manners? You gonna step in the house of the Most High? You just doing whatever? That's not how this works, you know. And that stuff deals with what is that mainly with? By Jake not taking counsel when it's told to him, you know. And like we said, we'll tell Jake certain things. We'll do video on certain things to try to tell Jake to tighten up on, and we got to keep telling you. That's a problem, you know. And we're not going to keep doing it. It's just like when you have a job and your boss keep telling you to stop doing something and you just keep doing it. Eventually, he's just going to stop telling you because he's tired of telling you. And then you're going to end up, what? Losing your job. And this is not confused. It's not supposed to be confusing. And Jake doesn't understand the saints are worn out. We are kind people. You know, we are kind people, but that doesn't mean that we're pushovers. If we keep telling you something, you keep doing it, you know. I'll tell you this, my eldest a lot more long suffering than me. I don't, nah, fuck all that. You know, because I'm still a young brother. I'm still learning patience. That's why the Lord set me up under him. So I could follow in his footsteps and be better at that. We're not going to keep giving out the warning, Jake. If you're told to do something, you need to do it. And you need to do it quickly. Because I'll tell you this, if I'm somebody in the camp and somebody's under me, if I got to keep in my mind, if I tell you something, you don't do it, I'm not going to want you under me. I'm going to want somebody else under me. Just like the elder. If I didn't do what he told me to do, he wouldn't want me under him. This is how GMS works. And we're bringing a particular service. Has to be particular, you know? And we give you the tools to do what we tell you to do. And we give you time. But it'd be 4, 5, 6, 7 months. We sitting here waiting on you to do something when we didn't give you the spiritual and the physical aspects of something to tell you something, and you still having trouble with it. That means the Lord just, I don't know, the Lord's wanting you to get caught up. This is 1 Corinthians chapter 14, verse 33. For the Most High is not the author of confusion, but of peace, as in all the churches of the saints. We tell you to do something. If you don't do it, just leave, man. Just go do your own thing. It ain't nothing personal. But we don't want, it says set your house in order. Like we said, we don't want to have people with us that we feel like we got to question you. We shouldn't have to, because the tools are right here, right? Jake know the scriptures real, right? Well, you should be following what we're showing you. But Jake just, man, look, Jake gonna figure out, man, the Lord is losing patience, man. And how do you know? He's losing patience through us. You know, you're seeing it through the leadership. That's why brothers be getting kicked out. You know, this is just an admonishment, you know, even for myself, you know, because it's talk about a young brothers. You need to understand that when you come into this thing, whoever's over you is who the Lord set up over you to tell you how to present yourself to the tabernacle. And if you're not doing that, somebody else is going to do it. So just keep that in mind, Jake. When you be coming around and stuff, like, show respect to our elders and apostles, man. You know? And it's not nothing like really specific. It's got to do with like seeing, it's showing brothers that, you know, so-called brothers been in the truth for, you know, 10 years, 10, 12 years and get kicked out, man. You know what I'm saying? So we have to take that into consideration. Because when you're not in the body, and you're, especially if you're not in the body, and you're somebody who's trying to come around the body, like, don't just think like nobody not seeing what you're doing, man. Tighten up. So, hey, Lord willing, us edifying to the flock. This the kind of videos that's, sometimes it's a little bit scary for Jake, but you should be scared. We're scared of getting kicked out. That's why we're so stern on telling Jake, don't be somebody telling you something twice. It don't matter how small the matter is. Jacob trouble come. I don't want to be around nobody that is gonna just do whatever, or when we tell them to do something, don't do something. It could be something that could cost somebody's life, even if it's something small. Wow, Baba, peace, blessing to the elect, Shalom.